Oh, yes, here we are. Welcome back. Say Less Footy for another week, the weekend breakdown, where we break down all the action from last weekend. A shortened round because of Origin, but honestly, some great games. Just it should honestly be called upset round. Like, I don't think a favourite won this weekend, last weekend, I should say, but it was some quality football. I don't know why I doubted the Eels. The Sharks have now lost 2 on the trot. And Mitch Moses and Gutho were fantastic. But before we get into the games, just here joined by the young buck Preston this week.
By myself again. I'm hurting.
We've dropped old Brendo to the Rezzies this week.
Back to the Rezzies
Back
again.
to the Rezzies. Hey, you got to perform on this show, other's you get the chop.
Consistency. That's you, Mr. Consistent over here.
Oh, absolutely. just call me Gutho. I'm always going to bring 110%. King Gutho. Oh, wow. Anyway, before we get into the games, just a little bit of the action. Obviously, big Origin talk. If you haven't already checked out our Origin preview, it is on YouTube now. Get around it. Give it a like. Give it a comment. We spoke about a lot of our Origin errors. Great chat. Absolutely loved it.
Loved it.
Just stuff that happened on the weekend. Obviously, talk around Reid Mahoney. Obviously, when that last time they played Newcastle with what happened after him and Jack Hetherington got sent off. And then, he's just having a little bit of niggle. I think he's sort of found his sort of place in the game. You saw last week there was a little presentation from Grubby, Josh Reynolds to him with the biggest pest in the game.
No way.
And then after that, what happened in the Newcastle game, and he stirred up Saifidi so much he got a little headbutt as well. It was great theatre. Great theatre. I loved it.
It's funny because he knows what he's doing. He comes in there, gives you a little niggle, chats to you. And it's like, especially you don't want to have that disrespect as a player, but obviously he can play for the Maroons. Imagine him doing that in an Origin game all day to the Blues players and getting players sent off. Oh, I'd love to see it, honestly. It'd be a good little... Obviously, doesn't have maybe the top scorers, maybe Harry Grant, but, when Ben Hunt comes out, he could be straight in there.
Yeah, 100%. I think Reid Mahoney is an Origin player, and I think that, like I was saying at the start, I think he's found his little niche. He was trying to do a lot by being a playmaker and kicking 40-20s and stuff, but he's found it. He gets under the skin of the opposition, and it's also when we get onto the Bulldogs game, it's also feeding into that new sort of DNA of the Bulldogs. It's gritty, it's in your face, and it get under your skin, and they'll defend until the cows come home.
Yeah, they're loving it.
Oh, big, lots of stuff happened. Obviously, other news is obviously you've got, I've said obviously like 7 times, but hey, that's what Titans will do to you, folks. They're talking about Madge being the favourite to take the Eels job, and also Freddie Fiddler's name has been thrown into the mix.
True, I haven't seen that.
I feel like they've gone a little bit quiet on the Jason Ryles talk. I haven't seen a lot of it in the news, but... Yeah, I think Madge is the type of guy that'll stick to sort of New South Wales as long as he can, especially if they're winning. But yeah, Freddie Fittler's a good shout for a Parramatta role.
Honestly, I didn't even know any of that was going around. I knew the Riles one was out there, and obviously he was a good pick. He was sitting behind Bellamy, right, for a while, and that's who they thought was going to take over. Bellamy's been close to retiring for the last 5-6 years, you know what I mean? So, and he's got the experience. He's under someone like Craig Bellamy, and bringing him in would be good. But, like you said, Madge and Fittler, they're both amazing as well. So, I love to see what they do, but, still got a season ahead.
Yeah, I saw, obviously, love the Levels podcast with Justin Horro, Willie Mason. He also spoke Willie Mason makes such good points.
He does.
And it was just about him saying, Madge has already won a comp. What has he got to prove? He's won internationals with New Zealand. Now he can...
If he gets that New South...
He works 8 weeks, 12 weeks every year around New South Wales, sort of maybe a little bit longer, but... then get that. He's accomplished it all in the game.
I was about to say, what's he missing from his resume then? What, he's got Premiership, he would have the International. If he wins this, he'd have the New South. What else is he missing?
Complete the set.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
Pokemon, catch them all. Catch them all.
Getting all the badges. Maybe World Cup finals, is it? The one up in the Challenge? The one up in England?
He's done it. He's won the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, true. So,
100%.
Yeah,
Mate,
he's one badge away from
Mate.
completing the whole set.
Wow.
Good on him.
Oh, Michael Maguire, Pokemon. What was that game where everyone goes out and catches Pokemon? I don't know.
Yeah, Pokemon.
It was called something. It was
No,
like
it's Pokemon.
I know it's called Pokemon, but it was like
Pokemon Black and White.
it was like it was a Pokemon Live. I don't know. Like everyone used to be out in the street.
Pokemon Go.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Pokemon Go. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm old. I don't know. Remember that?
I thought you were talking about the DS one.
No, but do you know when like it was so weird? You'd like see like groups of people all standing around their phones and stuff. You're like, what the hell's going on over there?
Pokemon Go. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, it's Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call Magic Guy from now on. Pokemon Go.
Yeah,
Catch them all. Other news. Exciting stuff. Big Steph and
Utoikamanu.
Yeah, thank
What
you.
a guy, big
Been
Stefano.
tabled a 4 or 5 year deal. I think it's like a 4-year deal, $5 million.
No, I think it's 5-4.
It's
5-year deal,
$800K.
$4 million. Yeah.
$800K. But
Woo.
that's good money. It'll take him up to his peak time,
Perfect.
28.
Prime.
28.
Yep.
Like the Tigers need to build their forward pack around him. Like this is.
It's exciting.
I would be gutted if we lose Stefano.
You got Stefano, maybe another prop you might be looking for, but you've seen Finu Samuela looks amazing. John Bateman, we know how good he is.
Yeah.
He's had his on and off times, but we know how good he is.
I hear he's been shot back to the UK though.
Real.
Yeah.
It's just when
bang
he
for
gets
buck.
in there, yeah, I know. He's at his peak and he can get, like you said, bang for buck. But yeah, I think even Fanua Pole, he's good. I love the way he runs as well. You know what I mean? Like, you guys got the Tigers got a solid forward pack, and they've even, you got young boys coming up as well.
Yeah,
so.
there's a young fella coming through. He's about 18, so he's going to need at least a couple more seasons.
Then, yeah, exactly. And then you got your spine, which looks amazing next year. So
yeah,
real good signs.
Good signs for the Tigers. Anyway, let's get into the games. There's probably plenty more news to talk about, but can't think of it right now. So let's get into the games. Eels over the Sharks, 34-22. Sharks have lost 2 on the trot. They've beaten 2 top 8 sides. They've lost to 2 top 8 sides. Obviously, no Nico is a big one. He's really been guiding that team around all year.
Mm-hmm.
It confused me to move Atkinson to the other side. I mean, just he's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
He come into grade and he played really well. Why move him? And just for Trindle, like Trindle should be the one moving. He's the one that's had a bit of discretion. So maybe you play out of position. I think they may have moved him back late into the game, and then that's when the Sharks sort of scored a few points. So Atkinson needs to stay where he is. But Mitch Moses, we've spoken on this podcast, mate. We've spoken on the podcast how much I love Mitch Moses, and I sort of tipped against him last week. I thought him and Gutho would be a bit underdone. Gutho's still got that. He's sort of had that stuff drained out of his knee, but man, that's a different team with those 2 in it.
Yeah, it's tough because like obviously they looked amazing. Maybe that obviously with Brad Arthur leaving, still feel really bad for him. They get rid of both of their stars that are injured. They play 6-7 games not with the team. They go trash. He gets fired, and they come back and they start winning. But I think Blaze Talangan was very unlucky to lose a spot. I know how good Clint Gutherson is. I know that, but I feel like at some point in the near future, I feel like they might move Gutho to the center, especially with the draining of the liquid from what was his knee or something.
Yeah.
And he looked amazing, Blaze did. But for this game. What I saw opened up Dill Brown's running game straight back again. Mitch Moses took over, was throwing those balls out. He was really moving the line. And it's funny because the Eels got a lot of confidence from it just by having Mitchy Moses and Gutho on the field. Like, you see these players like Will Penasini and that, yeah, they do well, but they were putting in that extra effort, that extra mile the whole game. And I was just, it's crazy. It's like, how does bringing 2 players into your team change your whole entire game? It's not like they were throwing out long balls and hitting them and they were going through easy. No, they were making hard runs. Like Penasini got like 3 tackle breaks and scored a try, you know what I mean? So I think this is a massive boost for the Eels, and I'm hoping it's all upside for them now, but we'll see.
Well, I think what you get from putting Moses in there, he's even when they sort of were coming, sort of the Sharks' line speed was really good, and they're under pressure. His kicking game gets him so much meterage and gets the game down to the other end of the field. Gutho just brings effort upon effort.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly.
leader.
Yeah.
It freed up Dylan Brown. He didn't have to organise the team, so he can come in and make his runs
That last
when he
try
wanted
was
to.
beautiful.
The talk around like Blaze Lungy, they spoke to Brad Arthur after the game. He was unused sub, so he was actually a bit under an injury cloud. So he was there as backup, and they didn't have to use him with it. I would have said if he was at full fitness, he would have played in the centres, because remember he debuted in the centres and just
he
ran over Tommy.
That's what I'm thinking. But hey, who was it? Penasini, and who's the other centre? Bailey Simonson. Obviously, Simonson's hurt. I think at the moment. I think he did an ACL or something like that. But yeah, it would have been hard to bring him in, because Simonson and Penasini have been so good. Like, they've been running the ball hard, but if Simonson is out this week, I reckon Blade's straight back and easy.
Oh, 100%. On to the next game. Knights up against Bulldogs. Wow.
Oof.
Bulldogs they had 2 players sent off. They scored when they were down to 12 men both times. Their defence. This is what Serraldo's been trying to put in place, and he even said that this is the same system that he brought in last year, but players are buying into it. And it is like, I'm older, so I've seen the years and years going all the way back to like the time of like David Gillespie and Terry Lamb and like the Marco Mealy and Willie Mason, Brent Sherwin era. There's nothing when the Bulldogs win, there's nothing flashy about them. It's all about grit and grind and hard defense, and they defended Knights down to 2 points at their home stadium. Like, this Bulldogs prophecy around 2024. It's creeping up slowly. Bulldogs fans, you could be on here, but yeah, just everyone stood up. Like, there was just so much desperation, defense. There's a real good culture there at the Bulldogs right now.
Obviously, their defense was amazing. Like you were saying, there was multiple times where the Doggies were on their line defending, and they stopped them. You know what I mean? And even down to 12 players. But on top of that, I feel like while I was watching the Knights move the ball around, it was very, very lackluster. Like, there was no real direction. Like, I know Hastings and Cogger have come in and they started doing their thing, but like, there was times where I was just watching it and I was just like there's opportunity, but it just wasn't getting taken. You know what I mean? Like, and I just feel like when they do sort like little things out like that, the Knights can get back up on that foot. But obviously, Doggies played a really, really good game and they really locked it down. So, but yeah, it was close, and even with like obviously Adokar going down and that as well, very tough. Scored 2 tries, could have been in the talks and even got his spot back for the next Origin, depending how Lomax and Lomax Tor's not going anywhere. Lomax goes, but I just think it was a good game, and it shows where the Bulldogs' direction is going, and it's going up.
I think Hastings still played really well. Crossan was effective when he come on.
Crossan was,
I just think that Tyson Gamble is a bigger loss than everyone gives him credit for. I think he really brings an energy and cohesion to the team.
Yeah, for sure, the energy, yeah.
But I think the Knights weren't as terrible as 32-2 is. I just think the Bulldogs didn't let them play the game. There was a lot of handling errors. I think it's just put a line through that one for the Knights.
Yeah, for
Don't
sure.
sort of
move on.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah.
And nice segue, because we will move on to the next game, and it is
Nice,
Dragons
nice,
over
very
Panthers.
nice.
I am a professional over here. We got segues.
When.
And you know what? And that's why I tipped the Dragons. Even without Jack Bird. Even without Jack Bird, who I think is a great part of the team, and without Ben Hunt. Like, the Panthers had lost a lot of stars to Origin, but the Panthers system is so good that they should be able to cover that. But the Dragons, the amount of stars that were out for them for injury, Origin,
Sewer, Lomax, Hunt. That's 3 of their biggest main players in their team. You know what I mean?
Like, their 3 best players for this year.
Jack Bird gone injured. You know what I mean?
Jesse Marshke came in and played a great game. Flano really showed his leadership. I thought he had a great game. It was a bit of a rainy game as well, and Panthers don't play well in the rain. I think
True.
that had a little bit to do with it, but they were 10-0 down and came back and scored 22 points.
They came out running like after that halftime, and I was like, Panthers look really good. Yeah, okay, that McLean try far out. What a try. Debut as well. What a try. But that's what I mean. Like, they were feeling themselves, and I was like, you know how Penrith gets, it's hard to get past them, but definitely, I'll be honest, I didn't see it. I didn't see them coming straight through and getting the win. And another thing is, obviously the loss of May really not hurts them, but it's pretty tough. We know how good of a player he can be. But Alamotti, he has been so good defensively, running his holes, tackle breaking. Obviously you got Tango and Taruva who run amazing out of their 20, but then you got Alamotti as well. Just compared to the Bulldogs, when he played for the Doggies, he was very, very quiet, and he was meant to be the next big thing. And he's come over to this Panthers system, and he looks really, really, really good. And that's something we expect. The same way you would go, oh, you take Eliezer Katoa, who went to the Storm system. He looks really, really good. You know what I mean? You take these players who aren't doing as well, take them to a system like that, and they flourish.
Well, I've always been a big fan of Luke Garner from his time at the Tigers. He's absolutely just a footy head. He loves it. And the way he's coming in leaps and bounds, and Ivan just trusting in him to be that edge forward, that bench forward, wherever he needs to play, he's coming on and he's playing really well. So, Alamotti, like, this is obviously how much out of the Panthers. He was the goal kicker. Like, he's probably like fifth down the pecking order.
True. Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's his spot to lose now. Honestly, now that May's gone and he will be gone for the rest of the season, it's going to be a spot to lose.
He looks good on that side too.
Yeah, I love it. I'd love to see it.
All right, on to the next game. And wow, this is going into second extra time of Golden Point. Like, what an absolute game. Like, just so much entertainment. Oh, if no one could turn that game off. This is an absolutely exciting game. And who would have thought that Dolphins and Raiders, you're looking at the draw throughout the year, like, oh, that's going to be an absolute barnstormer. Absolute banger.
Banger.
Jordan Rapana, how many? I think there was 5 missed field goal shots, and then Rapana finally gets it done.
It's funny because that one that Asako got through, that was a penalty, I think it was. Max Plath or something was offside or some random thing like that because he got one through, but it didn't count.
Wait, did he get one through? I thought it missed, but there was still like a penalty or something. It was so confusing.
Yeah, I was very confused. Don't worry. Yeah. That's why I'm kind of asking you. In a sense.
Mate. I was I sort of watched that live, but I was working, so
one eye here, one eye there. But it was a good game, and seeing. My favorite part about watching it was seeing this young Raiders team, like KO Weeks, Ethan Strains, Ata Mariota. Like, these dudes, obviously, that's one of the best things about Origin. You take away all these star players and you can put in these young players that haven't gotten a chance usually, say, like Jesse McLean or something. But, this young Raiders team looks really good, and it's exciting. Like, even, like I was saying then, but Xavier Savage as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's exciting. It'd be exciting to be a Raiders fan because they got a pretty bright future.
Well, around that stuff of seeing all that, I love seeing all the young stars. We're looking at the future,
exactly.
All these ones that come up and get their chance, and players get injured and stuff. Listen to the great Denon Kemp talking with Cam Smith on SEN Radio. Yes, I consume a lot of rugby league content.
Bit of quotage.
He was talking about something that I kind of like 75% of his idea, but it's when you have Origin, you would have like a sort of an Origin sort of representative round, so like players can go off and play for like their country, but then also all the teams that have like instead of playing NRL games, all the big players that don't and they miss out, they go back to their sort of feeder teams, their reserve team, and then like you'll have like people playing at North Sydney Park, and like it sort of takes takes all the big stars down to the local games and sort of helps build up
like that. Yeah,
I like the sound of that.
So like you'd play like say the Melbourne Storm you'd play them down at like, I don't know, Casey Park or something.
Sunshine Coast Falcons.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
like the feeder club.
Yeah, so the actual feeder club. Yeah.
Okay.
So you go back to Resi. So
true.
Newtown, you got all the Shark stars playing around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool idea as well.
Alrighty, on to the last game of the round. It was Roosters and Cowboys. And now, if you pick this, mate, wow, how could you pick that? That like the Cowboys upsetting with all their Origin stars out as well, upsetting the Roosters. This was just absolutely mind-boggling. Todd Payton would be so happy with how the players stood up, and I think Taumalolo was really good. I think he's I feel like maybe, he's got signed on that big deal and he, peaked like 2017. He was probably the best player in the world. Yeah. But he sort of took a back seat with all these young, awesome forwards like your Cotter and your Nanai and Lukey all coming through. And when he's needed, he really stepped up to the mark and sort of led that pack. Jared's still in the pack. Terrell May was still there. The Roosters still had a decent pack, to sort of, stand up and be counted.
I think they're still stacked. You know what I mean? We talk about their depth how much. You know what I mean? We say, this player goes out and this player comes in, and it's like you don't lose any talent. Like, it's crazy because, Cowboys were decimated. I think they got like 5 players that are playing in Origin. Like, what is it? Dearden, Cotter, Nanai,
Holmes,
and I can't remember the other one. But yeah, like 4 or 5 players that are out. And yeah, I know they lose Spencer Leniu, Tedesco, Lindsay Collins, but and Angus Crichton. But still, you bring on Butcher, Tupanua, who are great players. Then you bring in Joey Manu to the fullback, and honestly, most of the time, it doesn't even feel like you're losing a lot of talent.
Yeah, meter-eating world champion.
It's Manu at fullback. Everyone knows what he does there. But, Scotty Drinkwater really stepped up to the plate. He took over. A lot of their forward pack was working really, really hard throughout the game. Obviously, being decimated, they had to. And Clifford came in very well, and he was putting good pressure on with his kicks and all that. But, yeah, it ended up being a really good game, and I'll be honest, I've had Roosters dropping 40-something on them and Cowboys going maybe 4 points, but they came out and they were ready to play. And honestly, in a sense, I don't think Roosters were.
I feel like they were just sort of written off and be like, this is going to be a bit of a trot here, boys. And
they've done this. This is what Brendo talks about. Brendo's talked about how they come up against teams like this, and he feels the Roosters go, cakewalk, all good boys. Let's just go out there and do what we got to do. And then the other team comes out and they're just hungrier. And like I said, Brendo's talked about that a lot already on this podcast.
Yeah, I think Toddy Payton just read them the right act lately, and sort of they got up for it. And then you've got to think all these players that are getting their opportunity with the Origin stars out, they want to prove themselves. They want to be first graders. They want to be NRL stars.
Purdue, I think it was. He played really well, and he's one of the players that have been under the ranks. You're behind Valentine Holmes and
mate, Tommy Chester played in the centers as well.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. And it's just they've played so well. Like they deserve the win. Easily.
Scotty Drinkwater, if now something at the 11th hour goes down and Tedesco gets injured, does Drinkwater get a late call up to Origin?
Who is there? There's Scotty Drinkwater.
It's got to be Drinkwater. Drinkwater is the next one. Oh, not all there is. There's so many New South Wales fullback. Wow.
Who else is there?
Drinkwater. Yes.
Drink some water.
Davo loves a bit of drink water, but this is also something. This is another segue. I'm all about segues today. Let's call it, I don't know. What day is it? Segway Tuesday. Woo! Anyway, that's a nice segue of something I forgot to do at the start because we got a little bit, we got a little bit excited. We got sidetracked. We're just ready to talk footy. Just oozing it. It was our shining lights. Shining lights. We missed it, so we're going to do it now.
Get involved,
mate. I'm lining it up, and there's no surprises this week.
Hey.
My man, Mitch Moses, back with the 3 points.
Man, damn.
I love Mitch Moses. That looks so good. If everything aligned and he still would have stayed at the Tigers, I feel like we would be our history would be completely different. I'm never going to not love Mitch Moses, the nephew of the great Benny Elias as well. If you didn't know that, fun fact. Tigers legend Benny Elias.
My bad,
mate. 2 points. We were just talking about him before. Scotty Drinkwater,
drink bloke.
Drinking, just taking it all in and drinking hard. Ethan Strange, He took my 1 point. He was absolutely
Real.
fantastic. Yeah, I was that game with the Raiders. I was really tossed up. It was almost a Rapana, but I think just Ethan Strange. The kid's a footballer.
He
He
is.
gets in. He puts in. He put on a great shot on. I think it was Trey Fuller. There was a kick through and just lined him up and just. I think it was Trey Fuller.
Probably.
The old memory's a bit gone, but yeah, Ethan Strange gets my 1 point. Over to you, Preston, for your 3, 2, 1. Shining lights.
3, 2, 1. I went 3 Scotty Drinkwater, gave him 3. I was watching that game pretty closely, and he was doing everything he could. He was doing everything he could. He had 1 try, a try assist. He had 10 tackle breaks, and he had 3 line breaks, which is a really amazing game. You know,
the new stats man this week, Preston.
I'm not that guy.
Man.
Sorry, that's Brendo's thing. But I went 2. I went 2 for Jacob Preston. Looked really good. Obviously, just coming to the starting role for the second row. I think he played right. I think they had him on the right again.
No, but good.
Yeah, he looked good. Exactly, he looked good, and he played so well. And he had 2 tries, and that try saver on Greg Marju was so. I was like, I saw Marju going for the corner, and I was like, yeah, Marju. He's kind of like Brian Tall. He's pretty hard to stop near the line. Goes for the dive, and he just gets him, Jacob Preston, and that's what I mean. It's an effort thing, and that shows you how the Bulldogs, really running on effort and all that. And
that changed the game. Like
it
where the
did.
scoreline was there, like they score there, like maybe Newcastle kicks on and
get on a roll, and that's where Bulldogs fall off. But yeah, it was an amazing try saver. And then I think I went 1 for Terrell May. Got to give it to him. Got to try. He played 75 minutes that game. 75 minutes. Jared went down. Obviously their bench was very tight. Like I think they didn't have many. Obviously Spencer Leniu wasn't there. No Lindsay Collins. And he ran up, played 75 minutes and got a try. So yeah, big game from him. Big game from the big boy. Did a celebration. Did the celebration for Taylor May. But yeah, it was good.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. He popped off with I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm leaving that one alone. But yeah, obviously support the family.
Support the fam.
Support the family. Right. That was a great one. Got right into it. Great round.
How'd our tips go?
Oh, that's mate, I'm glad you're here. That's glad you're here. Look, shortened round with Origin. We'll just quickly go through tips and we'll wrap it up. And then make sure you get to the end of this video. Click on to our tips video. It'll be dropping very, very soon as well. So in the first game, I took the Sharks because I thought the Mitch Moses and Gutho would be underdone. You boys took the Eels, so 1-0 to you guys. And then here we go.
All downhill from here.
Bulldogs versus Knights. You boys took the Knights. I took the Bulldogs. Moving on. Dragons versus Panthers. Panthers versus Dragons. However you want to say it. You boys took the Panthers. I took the Dragons. Dolphins versus Raiders. You boys went Dolphins. Went Raiders. Mr. Upset over here. And then we all took the Roosters because who in the hell tipped the Cowboys to do that? Got to be off your head on some bloody good gear. Absolutely. So, and in an abysmal round.
Mate, you've
I pulled back 3 points. No, mate. I was bloody 5 points behind you boys. So I pulled it back to
3.
Well, no, I put it 3 points. So I'm 3 points behind you guys. Are on 55. I'm on 52. But you know what? It's a long season. We're only just finished round 13. Long season. Here I come. This is my time to shine. I'm just going to back with the heart from now on. Just going to go on feel.
Just on
feel. Anyway, if you haven't already, please like and comment on this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Get around us. All your support is absolutely fantastic. That's what we need to push it out. The algorithm has not been fair to us lately. So if you made it this far, do whatever you can. Share it. Share it on your YouTube. I don't even know. Share it on your socials. Get around it. Are you done?
Yes.
Very done by that one. You were like hyping up while I was talking, and then I took good to you.
Called me out. I was like, oh, no. I'm going to be quiet now.
You don't want to throw out? Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Oh, wow. Say hi to your mum for me. Say less. Peace out. Yup. Woo.